Hello, are you like me and you're just skipping through all of the story in your favorite fashion games just to get forward and you don't actually stop to read anything? Well, I'm here to tell you that's totally valid, but I thought that it would be fun if we read through chapter 1 together and just find out who are these people? What are they all about? Who are we? Because I don't know. Do you? So, grab a coffee, grab a tea, get cozy, and let's read. So our story here begins with Ashley. She gives us a call and tells us that we missed an appointment to look at a house. We tell her that we're sorry, we forgot. And she says, well, just come over, just relax. And that's chapter 1.1, which is just a little tiny story. And then we get into 1.2. And in 1.2, Ashley actually tells us that we're moving in together, which leads me to believe that she's our future or present roommate, not really clear. And she did tell us before that we're just hanging out to relax, but we're buying a house together, so that's not very relaxing at all. Ashley is apparently a private detective of some renown, and she has her own detective firm. So we tell Ashley that the new house that we're getting, it's great, but we would actually prefer a villa on an exclusive island if we could live anywhere. And that's kind of rude, but Ashley is actually really cool about it, and she says we can actually try that out without paying top dollar. And we're like, how is that possible? And she says that, yeah, do you know the girl group Black Sugar Girls? And we're like, they're so popular, and apparently they do a lot of commercials, and one of the members is called Annie, who is the girl on the cover here. And Ashley tells us that she's actually really close friends with Annie, and that we're all going on a vacation together on a private island, just like we wanted. So Ashley tells us this is the player's graduation gift, and we don't know at this point where we're actually graduating from. So yeah. But anyway, Ashley tells us that we're going to get a first-hand look at some of the Black Sugar Girls stage costumes, which we're very excited about. So we're changing outfits, we look perfect, and we're ready to hit the private island villa. Okay, I just need some tea. Chapter 1.3, No Name. Okay, so we arrive at the beach house and we get our own room. Next, we're going to see the members of Black Sugar Girls in a restaurant, which is very exciting, obviously. But when we actually get to the restaurant, we hear an argument happening inside. And it's Ashley, and she's arguing with someone, but we don't know who it is. But they're really into business talk, yeah? So we see that it's a very tall man with a serious expression, a dark suit, and a very expensive watch. And apparently he is drinking a milkshake, as all businessmen do. Must be a businessman special. Took a lot of screenshots of him, didn't I? Hello. Okay, we kind of seem to recognize him, which I do, because I've seen him on the ally cards. It's Gerald, but we don't know it at this point in the story. So we join Ashley in the restaurant, and we continue to listen in on their conversation. Ashley's arguing for further investment in what I can only assume is maybe the girl group? Not sure. But Gerald doesn't really believe in the further investing in whatever they're talking about. And he calls Ashley emotional, which every woman loves to be called in negotiation. And he says that she's far too kind. As Ashley's friend and possibly her roommate, we take offense at this, and we're gonna say something about it. And that's the end of the chapter. Chapter 1.4, Reason and Emotion. Who even are you? We ask the serious businessman, although of course we already know it's Gerald. And Ashley tells us that he's the chairman of Endpoint Technology, which is a company name that does sound kind of evil. Ashley also tells us and she tells Gerald that we're her sister actually, which is news to me. So add that to the list. Roommate, co-house owner, sibling, friend. So we tell Gerald that we have actually seen his product launch conference, and that we know that he's actually a partner of the detective firm that Ashley is running. We tell Gerald that we understand that he's focused on profit, but that emotion, that can actually be quite interesting for results as well. We tell him that, yeah, Gerald is stunned at this, and why wouldn't he be? And he stares at us with a sharp-eyed gaze. Instantly, we worry that we offended him, although I have to say that I'm not super worried about that. But Ashley pats us on the back, and she smiles at us, and she tells us that no, we're not really arguing, you know, we're just having a work discussion. Like, oh, why don't you have this ice cream and just calm down? I need some tea, hang on. I don't have any ice cream at home. So while we're enjoying our ice cream, Gerald says nothing, but he is a little bit more relaxed, and we apologize to him if we've been saying nonsense so far, but Gerald says, you know, we're all good, and he tells Ashley that he will try and see things from her perspective, but that the end results still matter, like the bottom line, business-wise. So we asked them, what are you guys actually talking about though? Like, what were you discussing? And Gerald says that it's a trade secret. And we get a little bit upset, and we tell him that we'll be angry at him if he ignores us for being curious. And Ashley tells us, you know, you'll know what we're talking about when the time comes. So I guess we're leaving that for now. But while we're waiting for the others to arrive, the girl group, we check Vanna for the latest trends, and apparently girl group is all the rage. We pop on an outfit that is perfect according to data, and yeah, we're stage ready. Chapter 1.5, Vanity Fair. Wait, I gotta get some more tea, hang on. Okay. Suddenly, someone bursts in, and an angry voice calls to us. Just how bad is security here? Everyone that's there, which is, you know, us, I think, so it's Gerald, Ashley, and myself. We're looking to see who has entered the restaurant, and it's an angry, pink-haired woman, who says that all her clothes have been ruined. And then a more quiet, blonde woman joins us, and she's like, oh, my clothes have been ruined too. And we're on a remote island, so there aren't any shops or anything here. We learn that the blonde hair girl is called Julia, and the pink-haired girl, she's called Beth. So Beth gets distracted by Gerald, and she tells him that she and Annie go way back, who we haven't met yet. And we're all like, oh, so where's Annie? And Beth goes on about how much she admires Gerald, who apparently holds a lot of public press conferences, like, I don't know, like a Steve Jobs or something. She wants to exchange numbers with Gerald so that they can collaborate on something. Yeah, you know what that means, don't you? Ashley pipes up and she says that Gerald isn't really Annie's friend, he's actually her friend. And Annie doesn't know Gerald very well, but besides, you know, he should forget about work because we're all on vacation. I'm just gonna call this now, and I know that since I've written everything down before recording this, I know that maybe the evidence doesn't point this way, right? But I'm pretty sure that Ashley and Annie are the same person. Okay? Don't tell me if I'm wrong. I don't want to know if I'm wrong. Ashley turns to Beth and she says, what's all this about your clothes being damaged, girl? And Beth says, oh my god, yes, we're supposed to shoot a cover, and what are we supposed to do now? Ashley tells her that we're actually a very well-known fashion blogger, so we have brought both shooting equipment and we have a lot of experience in shoot, and this is what we inspire them with. So we show them how to do a picture, I guess. Look at that. Yeah. It's just ordinary. There's nothing special, but they're impressed. Chapter 1.6, A Fog of Doubt. So, Beth says that we're a genius, and we're really happy about that. Julia asks, where's Annie? And Ashley and Beth are wondering too. And Beth tells us that Annie is really vain, and she won't really show her face unless she's dressed just right and she has her makeup done and everything. And since both Beth and Julia have had their clothes damaged, they're wondering if Annie's have been damaged too. So we go and find Annie, and Beth complains about the security system. She's like, oh, I would check it myself before we go anywhere because I'm so concerned about security, and I know how to check stuff like that. And Annie, who we meet now, she scoffs at this and she says, I don't have that kind of time to check systems, and yeah, that sounds like someone leading a double life to me. Yeah. Anyway, Beth is upset that Annie is rude because she was just worried about her safety, and Ashley tells them both to just cut it out, which, you know, does seem to disprove my theory that they're the same person, but you know, I'm going to keep on believing this, okay? Anyway, Ashley, as we have learned, she is a detective by trade, and so she says that she's gonna check out if the incidents of the ruined clothes are connected, which, you know, even a novice detective like myself, it seems pretty clear that it is connected, and yeah. But anyway, Annie tells us that she's going to recount to us, you know, the happenings of the day, and we, the player character, we get immediately distracted by social media and we check Vanna to see what is trending. Casual, island, fashion, very nice. Chapter 1.7, Dark Past. So, while we did a little quick change, Annie is actually ready to tell us now about what happened. So, she tells us that the luggage has not left the room since it arrived to the room, which means that someone damaged the clothes and then put them back in the suitcase. She tells us that she went to sleep for a while after arriving during the morning, and that the clothes were fine then. So in the afternoon, she was told by someone, I assume some kind of staff, that Beth and the others have arrived, and so she left to have a word with them about live streaming, because they're going to have a live stream event tomorrow night, they say. And she returned and she had a nap, and she also had a nap in the morning. It's a bit confusing. Annie seems to be napping a lot, but anyway, she didn't notice until just now, which I assume is the afternoon, that her clothes have been damaged. Exactly what the damage is, can't say. Nobody really provided proper details on this, but they're damaged, okay? So, we recap. The culprit came to Annie's room when she was out and damaged the clothes. We ask her if she has any suspects and if she has seen anything strange, and she tells us there might be haters. She tells us that there are lots of haters and that their numbers are increasing. What do the haters say? We ask her, and she says that she's received messages from haters as well as actual threats. She wonders aloud, are there haters here? Here? Not here. Haters? In our exclusive island villa? This vacation is getting less relaxing by the damn minute, I'll tell you. Annie is concerned that there were actually haters in her room, and Ashley tells her, don't fret, girl, cause haters will not fit in your room, which I take as, Ashley making a dig at Annie that her room is small, and also, if we're doing the whole double identity thing, stashing multiple personalities in one room, it's a little crowded. Anyway, Ashley is profiling our culprit, and she very quickly assumes that it's a man, which does seem like jumping to conclusions to me, but okay. And she tells us that perhaps someone is hiding near the villa, a hater. So Ashley, it's confusing. I mean, tell me, is this not the same person? Like, really? Anyway, I digress. Annie tells Ashley that you have to find the responsible person really fast, and Ashley says, don't worry. Well, Julia tells Ashley that she's really brilliant, and yeah, I don't know about that, and apparently Annie once asked Ashley to help her find a fanatical fan who turned out to be a dog. So Annie doesn't like that, and she tells Ashley to, you can't tell that story. Anyway, so Annie turns to us, apparently, and says that, can you pick an outfit for us for this live streaming that we're doing? She says tonight, but I don't know if it's like a translation issue, because I've only heard about one live streaming event so far. But yeah, she needs an elegant, ceremonial, little bit sexy outfit, and can we deliver? And yeah. You like that? Yeah, she thought that was good. So yeah, we inspire everyone, and that's the end of this chapter bit. The story is getting a little complicated. Hopefully you're keeping up. Chapter 1.8, The Unknown. Beth says, let's have a party tonight. And Ashley says that, dinner's on me, I'll fix that. And Julia, who is always super concerned about everything, she's like, oh, there's not enough food though. Which does lead me to believe that we are in fact on Survivor. This is Survivor. There's no food and lots of haters. So Gerald's here as well, apparently, in this conversation. And he says that the restaurant actually has a lot of ingredients, and he has taken some of them to make food. Fantastic, but I have some questions, and I'm going to ask those questions. Okay, so this is a remote villa on a private island, and there's a restaurant here, but the restaurant's not open, and Gerald has stolen food from their kitchens, and why can we not eat at the restaurant? Is like, how does this restaurant stay afloat if its only customers are like from the private villa? And is it actually like a private kitchen for the villa and the translation is just off here? I don't know. And he says there isn't any food here in the restaurant, but I know where they keep their ingredients, and someone should go to the storage room to get some. And Julia says, I'll go, but someone has to come with me. Ashley kind of tells us that it's a bit tricky to navigate the basement, and she says, be careful. We tell her no, this is an adventure. We have to decide on a sweet outfit to wear for the journey. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Look at us. I'm bringing my piggy bank to the basement to look for food. Chapter 1.9. In the darkness. So, we arrived in the basement with Julia, and we found the cold storage apparently, and she is searching for mangoes. And it's really cold, so she wants to leave straight away. So, as we're getting ready to leave, we hear a locking sound, and someone's locked us in the cold storage from outside. And I think it might be a hater. So the lights go out and Julia starts weeping, and I tell her, don't be afraid, I'll call for help, but oh no, the signal on my phone is dead. Julia says, oh, we'll die in here, it's so cold. And I say, just stay close to me and we'll shout at the door together. And that's how you get a door open, is just by yelling at it until it unlocks itself. Tea break. It's getting cold. It's cookie break. Okay, where was I? So we're freezing to death. No one can hear us in spite of our yelling. So we just stop yelling and we sit down, and we feel that our consciousness is just fading away. And in this state, we take the time to think about the clothes that we used to wear for fashion events, and will we ever be able to wear anything that cool again? So we really must be dying, because someone in this universe says that this is perfect. Chapter 1.10. Creator. As we're losing our consciousness and the coldness of the storage, fantasizing about this cool outfit, suddenly the door opens. It's Gerald. He wants to know if we're okay. And Ashley's there too. She tells us you have to put on some warm clothes. Julia gives her a hug and she cries again, and they walk away. And we're walking behind them with Gerald, and he says, oh, you have to put on my coat because you're cold. And we say, no, we don't need all that. But then he puts the coat on us. We're not even given the choice. And it smells nice. So we feel warm instantly. And we thank Gerald. And, he says, how did you find us? Our phone was turned off. We didn't have any signal down in the cold storage. And Gerald says, and this is interesting, now focus up. Gerald says that we use something called robot AI. And we're like, what is that? And he says that robot AI has a GPS in it that he has personally invested in and built. Apparently, this robot AI lives in our phone and it has lots of functions, but the main point is that GPS signal on a phone will never be lost as long as the battery isn't dead. So this seems vaguely illegal and, technically kind of impossible. But, we press on, we don't comment on it. And Gerald says that robot AI is still in development, and it has a lot of modes, and they're still in testing stage. And we said, what kind of functions are those? Like, what else does this robot AI have? And so he kind of brushes us off at this point. He says it's a long story. And Ashley chimes in, and she tells us, we were so worried, we couldn't find you. And Gerald's tech saved the day. So, put on some warm clothes and do it really fast. Look at us, all warm and cozy. Chapter 1.11 Out of the Frying Pan. Okay, so the whole gang's together again, and someone's cell phone buzzes. Apparently it's Julia's phone, and she has never received so many notifications all at once, and apparently it's all haters. Everyone's in total shock about this, and terrifying photos and really threatening words are flashing before us. So Gerald grabs the phone and he looks at it and he's like, these aren't real comments, and we should be able to find their source quite quickly. So apparently it's bots. Julia cries again, as she does. Ashley says all this must be connected to the incidents with the ruined clothing, and it's great that Gerald is going to be able to help out to track the source of these messages. And Annie is like mysteriously quiet, but Ashley assures us that she'll definitely find the guy who's responsible, which once again is kind of a jump to conclusions. So we go back to our room and we check our messages on Vanna, which is apparently our life, and we have scored some kind of brand deal that will give us exposure from filming holiday videos. I don't know if that's gonna make us any money, but exposure is nice. So we put on a simple outfit, just something casual, holiday, and it's perfect. Chapter 1.12. I didn't catch the title of this one, I'm sorry. So we're back in our room, and because of the incident with the clothing and the cold storage and everything, everyone was in a really bad mood during dinner, and Julia, she wanted to go to bed early, and who can blame her? She'd been crying for like hours. And Ashley, who is a detective, she questioned us about the incident in the cold storage, but she left me to sleep because we're tired. And as we're falling asleep, like, all the incidents of the day are playing out in our head like a movie or something. We think of Gerald and his trade secrets that we can't know. We're thinking of Julia, who's crying and having her clothes ruined and crying again. We think of Annie and how she's probably our sister, but also about all of the haters that are apparently on this private island. We think of Beth, who is surprised that the clothes were damaged rather than taken, and what could that mean? Is it a matter of intimidation, or is it something more sinister, more hateful? We think of Ashley too. Yeah, we think of Ashley profiling the criminal as a man in advance, saying that she'll have this solved in no time. So very much has happened, and it's just been a day. Clothes, haters, storage room, malicious messages? Surely there must be a connection, we think to ourselves. We're drifting up to sleep, we're tired, we have to do an outfit of the day video, because we can't let those followers down. Now, take it all in. Go ahead, yeah. Hey, so that was a summary of chapter 1. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's recap. Okay, so we met some characters. We met Julia, and let's see, what did we learn about her? She's a pop star. She cries a lot. That might be it. Okay, so we met Beth, and she's also a pop star. She wants to be cute, which she is. She seems to have a thing for Gerald, and she is a security expert and will do her own security sweeps on account of the girl group. We met Annie, who is always napping. She's in a girl group too, so apparently 3 members so far, which seems low for a girl group. She's a bit mysterious. We don't know a lot about her. She's friends with Ashley, who is her sister, and apparently she at least once got it wrong. Like, she thought that she had a fan after her who was fanatical, but it was actually a dog. So she may be a little bit like into conspiracies or something. Like, she might be a bit dramatic. Who knows? We met Ashley, who's our sister. Apparently she's also a roommate, and we're buying a house together. She's a private detective who owns her own firm, and yeah, we got anything else on her? I think that, she is Annie. That's my conspiracy theory on this, because Annie was saying that she's so busy she doesn't have time to check security like Beth does, and I'm thinking that might be because, she is in fact a private detective, so she's got a lot going on. We'll see. We met Gerald, who is of course a very important character here, as far as I can tell from the ally cards. We don't know much about him yet. He is a tech investor, entrepreneur, business owner, perhaps a programmer. He's made a AI robot that lives in phones, and that tech seems like it would be incredibly valuable to a lot of sort of shadowy organizations that we should probably be aware of. So there may be more to all this than haters. Gerald can also apparently cook, like he made ice cream, and he is very concerned with results. He's very business oriented, very business minded, our Gerald. He is not my favorite yet. I guess we'll see. As far as I can tell, like, the story is kind of wild for him, considering all the motifs on the cards, but I guess we'll get into that some other time. Anyway, I think Gerald's one to watch. I think he'll be important. Don't know about the rest of the girl group yet. And of course we met ourselves, as we are. We learned a couple of things about the player character as well. We learned that they will defend their sister in discussions. We learned that they are a recent graduate of something, I'm assuming like a fashion school. And we learned that they're a famous fashion blogger, or a very, very accomplished fashion blogger. and we learned that we have experience in styling and shooting, and yeah, that's about it, I think, so far. Okay, I think that's about it for chapter 1. If you enjoyed this recap, do leave a like, leave a comment, but no, don't be a hater, because Gerald will find you with this AI. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Do tell me if, I'm in the minority and everyone is just reading this story and you're all clued into this universe that I'm not. I'm pretty excited about doing the next one, but this took a long time, so do show me your appreciation if you liked it and you watched the video up until this point. Thank you so much if you did, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.